Stop. If you've been starting conversations with hi, you've already lost before you even began. There are 6 powerful psychology tricks that can completely change how you get closer to someone you like, and none of them involve being someone you're not. Most guys never hear this. And the ones who do, they move differently. Today, that's you. Every trick in this video builds on the last one, so missing even one means missing the full picture. Stay locked in. Let's start with the move that happens before you even say a single word, because that's exactly where most men are already losing without realizing it. If this kind of content speaks to something real inside you, do someone a favor and share this video with a man who needs to hear it. Drop a like, leave a comment, and let's grow together. Every share helps this reach someone whose life might genuinely change because of it. 1. Stop saying hi, the first move that's killing your chances. Here's something nobody tells you up front. The way you open a conversation says everything about you before you even get to the second sentence. Most guys walk up to someone they like and lead with hey or hi, thinking it's safe, neutral, low risk, but what it actually does is make you completely forgettable. There's a whole world of psychology tricks hiding behind that first move, and once you see it clearly, you'll never go back to playing it safe again. Never. Think about it this way. When everyone says hi, saying something different isn't just bold, it's assertive communication in its purest form. The brain is wired to pay attention to contrast. When something breaks a pattern, it triggers curiosity automatically. That's not opinion. That's behavioral psychology doing exactly what it was designed to do. So the moment you ditch the generic opener and replace it with something real, something specific, something that shows you actually noticed her, you're already ahead of 90% of the room without even trying hard. A confident approach doesn't start with the perfect line. It starts with presence. Before you even open your mouth, your energy, your posture, your eye contact, they're all communicating something. Body language secrets aren't really secrets at all. They're just things most people never bother to study. Stand tall, not stiff. Breathe slow, not shallow. Make eye contact that's warm, not intense. These small physical shifts change how you're perceived before a single word leaves your mouth. That's not performance. That's inner strength showing up in real time. So what do you say instead of hi? Start with an honest observation, not a compliment about looks. Anyone can do that. Find something specific, something that shows you're actually present and paying attention. That book you're reading wrecked me lands harder than any generic opener ever will. Or try a light, genuine question tied to the environment you're both in. Situational openers feel natural because they are natural. They're part of the moment, not rehearsed lines pulled from a script that anyone can smell from across the room. This is where self-improvement starts to feel less like theory and more like a skill you're actually building. Every interaction is a rep, and just like the gym, the results don't come from one perfect session. They come from consistency, awareness, and a willingness to adjust. The men who get better at social dynamics aren't the ones born with natural charm. They're the ones who paid attention, made mistakes, learned from them, and kept going. That's the real edge, and you're already closer to it than you think. 2. The silence trick. How to make someone think about you without saying a word. Most people think getting closer to someone you like is all about saying the right things at the right time. But here's what the best communicators figured out a long time ago. Silence, used correctly, is louder than any word you could ever choose. It creates tension. It creates curiosity. It makes the other person lean in, literally and emotionally, because the human brain hates unfinished things. That discomfort of not knowing. That's psychological influence working quietly in the background, doing the heavy lifting for you. There's a concept in attraction psychology called the pause effect. When you stop talking right before the most interesting part of what you're saying, you force the other person's brain to fill in the blank. They start predicting, imagining, and investing in the conversation without even realizing it. That investment is everything. Because people don't fall for who impresses them most. They fall for who makes them feel the most engaged. Silence, in the right moment, does exactly that. It turns a simple conversation into something that actually sticks. And it goes beyond just pausing mid-sentence. Body language secrets play a huge role here too. Holding eye contact a half second longer than expected. Smiling slightly before you respond. Taking your time to answer instead of rushing to fill every quiet moment. These aren't games. This is emotional intelligence operating at a high level. It signals that you're grounded, that you're not desperate for approval, that you're completely comfortable in your own skin, and that kind of calm, unshakable presence. It's genuinely magnetic to people around you. Here's a practical move you can start using today. Next time you're in a conversation with someone you like, resist the urge to jump in the moment they finish talking. Let one full second pass before you respond. Just one. That small pause communicates that you actually heard them, that you're thinking before speaking, and that you're not performing. You're just being real. It's one of the most underrated psychology tricks out there, and it works because it's rooted in something deeply human, the desire to feel truly heard by another person. This is mindset shift territory right here. Most guys are so focused on what to say next that they completely miss what's actually happening in the moment. Social confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about being comfortable enough to sit in the silence without flinching. The men who master this stop feeling like they need to perform in conversations. They start showing up as themselves, fully present, fully grounded. And that shift, that quiet internal change, is what starts making every interaction feel completely different than it ever did before. 3. The mirror effect. How to make someone feel instantly connected to you. There's a reason some people walk into a room and immediately make everyone around them feel comfortable, seen, and understood. It's not luck. It's not charm they were born with. It's a very specific, very learnable pattern rooted in behavioral psychology called mirroring. And once you understand how it works, you'll start noticing it everywhere. In great conversations and strong friendships and relationships that feel effortless from the very beginning. It's one of those psychology tricks that sounds almost too simple until you actually try it and watch what happens in real time. Mirroring is the subtle art of reflecting someone's energy, pace, and body language back to them in a natural, organic way. When someone you like leans forward, you lean forward slightly. When they speak slowly and thoughtfully, you match that rhythm. When they laugh, you don't force a reaction, you let yours come naturally too. This isn't manipulation. This is deep connection being built at a subconscious level. The brain interprets similarity as safety, and safety is the foundation of trust. Without trust, nothing else you do in social dynamics will ever land the way you want it to. Here's where it gets really interesting. Mirroring isn't just physical. It works with words too. Pay attention to the specific phrases someone you like uses repeatedly, their vocabulary, their expressions, their way of framing things. Slowly, naturally weave some of those same words back into your responses. Not in a copying way, but in a I'm speaking your language kind of way. This is emotional intelligence at its most practical. It signals alignment. It signals understanding. And it makes the other person feel, on a level they can't quite explain, that you just genuinely get them. A man once struggled deeply in every conversation he tried to have with someone he was genuinely interested in. He always felt like there was an invisible wall between them, no matter how hard he tried to break through it. Then he stumbled across the concept of mirroring and decided to try it. Nothing dramatic, just small adjustments in posture and tone. Within 2 conversations, something shifted. She started opening up more, laughing easier, staying in the conversation longer. He hadn't changed what he said. He changed how he showed up. That's the real power of psychological influence done right. If you want to go deeper on this, look into research around human behavior and rapport building techniques. Resources like Vanessa Van Edwards' work on Captivate, or studies from the field of attraction psychology available on platforms like Blinkist or Google Scholar, give you the science behind what actually builds connection. This isn't soft advice. This is personal development grounded in real data. The men who invest in understanding people, not just impressing them, are the ones who build relationships that actually mean something. And that starts with something as simple as learning to reflect. 4. The scarcity principle. Why being too available is silently destroying your attraction. Here's a truth that most guys learn way too late. The moment you become completely available to someone you like, you start losing their interest without even realizing it. It sounds counterintuitive, almost cruel even. But this is attraction psychology operating exactly as nature designed it. The brain assigns higher value to things that aren't easily accessible. It's the same reason limited edition anything sells out in minutes. Scarcity creates desire. And desire, not comfort, is what pulls people closer in the early stages of any real deep connection worth having. This isn't about playing games or being cold. This is about red pill awareness at its most practical level. A high-value man has a life, goals, passions, and priorities that exist completely outside of any single person he's interested in. When you respond to every message within seconds, cancel your own plans to be available and make someone the center of your entire world. Before they've even earned that place, you're not showing love. You're showing desperation. And desperation, no matter how well-dressed it is one of the most unattractive signals you can broadcast through your body language, secrets, and behavior. The mindset shift here is significant. Start thinking of your time and attention as currency. Valuable currency that not everyone gets access to freely. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means being genuinely invested in your own self-improvement, your own growth, your own path. When someone sees that you have direction, that you're building something, that you're not just waiting around for their attention, everything changes. Your powerful presence becomes something they want to be around, not something they take for granted, because it's always just sitting there, freely available at any moment. Practically speaking, this means setting a real pace for your interactions. Don't be the first to text every single time. Let some conversations breathe. Make plans that reflect your actual life, not just your availability to them. Pick up a skill, hit the gym harder, invest in your friendships, build something you're proud of. These aren't distractions from getting closer to someone. They're exactly what makes you worth getting close to. Social confidence grows naturally when your identity isn't wrapped around one person's reaction to you. That's masculine psychology working the way it was always meant to work. And here's what happens when you get this right. People start chasing the version of you that's fully invested in his own life. They become curious about what you're doing, what you're building, who you're becoming. That curiosity is the beginning of genuine emotional intelligence on their end too. They start showing up differently, more present, more intentional, more real. Because now they sense that your attention actually means something. It's not handed out freely to everyone, it's earned. And anything worth earning is always worth fighting to keep close. Real quick, and this matters, if what you're learning right now is already shifting something inside you, if you're seeing social dynamics and human behavior in a completely different light, don't wait. Hit that like button right now before this video ends, because the algorithm buries content like this fast. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next makes everything you just learned even more powerful. The men who act now are the ones who actually change. Let's keep going. 5. The vulnerability paradox. How showing less makes someone want to know more. Here's something that breaks almost every assumption most guys carry into their interactions. Vulnerability, done right, is not weakness. It's one of the most sophisticated psychology tricks in existence. But there's a massive difference between vulnerability that attracts and vulnerability that repels. The line between them is thinner than most people realize, and crossing it in the wrong direction, too soon, too heavy, too desperate, is one of the fastest ways to kill genuine deep connection before it ever gets a real chance to breathe and grow into something meaningful. The paradox works like this. When you reveal everything about yourself up front, your struggles, your fears, your past, your insecurities, all at once, you remove all the mystery. And mystery is fuel. It's what keeps someone you like thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Attraction psychology thrives on gradual revelation. Think of it like a great series on Netflix. Nobody binge watches a show that gives away the entire plot in episode 1. The tension, the not knowing, the wanting more, that's what makes people come back. You are the series. Don't spoil yourself in the first episode. Strategic vulnerability means sharing just enough to create emotional resonance without tipping into emotional dumping. Mention something real, something slightly personal, something that shows you're human without making the other person feel like your therapist. I've been working through something that changed how I see people lately. Is powerful. It's honest. It opens a door without pushing anyone through it. That's assertive communication at its finest. It invites curiosity without demanding a response. And curiosity, as you already know by now, is the engine behind every transformational growth in any real human connection. This is also deeply tied to alpha mindset and how a grounded man carries himself in conversation. A man with inner strength doesn't need to unload his entire emotional history to feel validated by someone else. He shares selectively, intentionally, and only when the moment genuinely calls for it. That restraint isn't coldness, it's maturity. It signals emotional depth without emotional chaos. And people, especially the ones worth getting closer to, are drawn to that kind of quiet, controlled depth, like a compass needle drawn to true north, steady, reliable, and impossibly hard to ignore. To build this skill deliberately, start paying attention to how much you reveal in early conversations versus how much you hold back with social confidence. A great exercise is journaling your interactions after they happen. Apps like Day One or simply a private notes app work perfectly for this. Write down what you shared, how it landed, and what you could have held back to create more tension next time. This kind of personal development practice sharpens your emotional intelligence faster than almost anything else. You start seeing patterns, and once you see the pattern clearly, you own it completely. 6. The investment principle. How to make someone value you without asking for anything. Everything you've absorbed so far has been building toward this. The openers, the silence, the mirroring, the scarcity, the vulnerability paradox, they all feed directly into this final and most powerful principle. Because here's the truth that Red Pill Awareness has been pointing at all along. People value what they invest in, not what's handed to them, not what's always available. What they worked for, thought about, and chose deliberately. And once you understand how to trigger that investment naturally, getting closer to someone you like stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a natural, inevitable outcome. The investment principle works by creating small, low-pressure opportunities for the other person to give something. Their time, their opinion, their energy, their attention. Ask for a genuine recommendation. You seem like someone with great taste. What's one thing you think everyone should experience at least once? That question does 3 things simultaneously. It compliments without flattering. It invites participation. and it makes them invest mentally and emotionally in the conversation. Behavioral psychology is clear on this. The more someone gives, the more they subconsciously value what they gave to. That's not theory. That's how human behavior actually works. This principle also applies to how you position yourself in the interaction. Don't be the one always giving, always pursuing, always initiating without pause. Create natural moments where they have to reach slightly toward you. Respond warmly, but don't over-explain. Leave space in your answers that invites follow-up questions. Be interesting enough that curiosity does the pulling for you. This is dating strategy operating at its highest level. A high-value man understands that attraction is a two-way current, and you don't generate that current by being the only one producing the electricity in every single interaction you share. The psychological influence here is subtle but extraordinarily effective. When someone invests in a conversation with you, they start associating you with positive mental engagement. Their brain literally begins to link your presence with the feeling of being stimulated, seen, and valued. That association deepens every time they invest again. Over time, without any manipulation, without any pressure, without any desperate moves, you become someone they genuinely look forward to being around. That's transformational growth happening inside their perception of you, driven entirely by the smart, intentional way you've been showing up consistently. And this is where masculine psychology and self-improvement converge into something truly powerful. The man who masters the investment principle isn't chasing anyone. He's building something worth being drawn to. His powerful presence, his social confidence, his emotional depth, they all work together like a system that attracts without grasping, connects without controlling, and grows without forcing. This isn't just a dating strategy. This is a complete mindset shift in how you move through the world. And the men who internalize this, truly internalize it, never go back to who they were before, ever. So here's where it all lands. 6 tricks, 6 shifts, 6 ways to completely rewire how you show up when it matters most. But knowing them isn't enough. The man who watches this and does nothing walks away exactly the same as he came in. The man who picks even one of these principles and applies it today, just one, starts a chain reaction that changes everything around him. Transformational growth doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It starts the second you decide to move differently than you did yesterday. So here's your challenge. Think about someone you like right now. Seriously, picture them. Which one of these psychology tricks are you going to use the next time you're in front of them? Are you going to ditch the generic opener, use the pause, mirror their energy, pull back your availability, reveal just enough to spark curiosity, or let them invest first? Pick one, commit to it, and then come back here and tell us exactly how it went. Because your story might be the thing that pushes someone else to finally make their move. Drop a comment below right now. Just write, "I'm moving different." That's it. 3 words. A declaration. A commitment to yourself that you're done playing small in your interactions and your personal development. The men in this community who show up, engage, and share what they're learning are the ones who grow the fastest. And we want to hear from you, not someday, right now, in the comments below this video. And listen, from the bottom of this, thank you. Genuinely, you didn't have to stay until the end, but you did. That says everything about the kind of man you're becoming. The fact that you're here, investing in your self-improvement, sharpening your emotional intelligence, building your alpha mindset, that already puts you in a category most men never even find. Don't take that lightly. It means something real. And it deserves to be honored with action, not just awareness. If this video added real value to your life, hit that like button right now. It costs you nothing, and it helps this content reach the men who need it most. Share it with someone in your circle who's ready to level up his social confidence and dating strategy. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next on this channel goes even deeper into masculine psychology, human behavior, and everything that makes a man truly magnetic. We're just getting started. And the best, without any doubt, is still ahead.